Okay. Bienvenue à tous. Merhaba bikam. Welcome, everyone. 10 years ago today, in a tiny restaurant in Lisbon, Carlye and Alan brought us together to witness the beginning of their marriage. Today, we've come together on an entirely different continent, not to witness something new, but to celebrate the love that has blossomed under the eyes of this community. Before we begin, I ask that you take a moment and silence and stow your cell phones. We have a fantastic photographer at hand, and he's going to get the job done, I promise you. When Carlye and Alan asked me to lead this ceremony, they told me they wanted to host a celebration that not only reflects their love, but invites friends and family to be active participants in it. In that vein, as we did 10 years ago, we will open the ceremony by sharing a set of declarations of love that Carlye and Alan have written for each other. There's no set order. Please jump in and read your declaration that you've chosen until everyone has spoken.
I love how much we enjoy being together. We're around each other almost constantly, and it's still a joy to spend all weekend driving across the country with you. Alan,
I love you for still, 17 years later, being the person whose company I crave most. Carlye. Alan, I love your ability to always bring us back to what's important. Whether facing career uncertainty or the realization that we're 100 miles away from a gas station. You are the steady voice in the storm.
Carlye, I love your ambition. You inspire me to think bigger and better for myself and our life together. Alan.
Alan, I love you for your commitment to good sound. Because of you, my phone volume will always be tuned to the proper 80% whenever I'm in the Bluetooth.
Carlye, I love all of the friends that you brought into our life. You're clearly a good judge of character.
Alan, I love you for being the relentless champion of our family's rest and self-care.
Carlye, I love your passion for travel. You've seen so much of the world because of you.
Carlye, I love your sense of humor. You know how to make me laugh like no one else, and I love that special laugh you have when people fall down.
Carlye, j'aime la façon dont tu m'aimes, vos cadeaux parfaits, vos surprises spéciales et vos gestes réfléchis me font savoir que vous me voyez et que vous m'aimez entièrement, Alain.
Alan, I love you for making us softer. Over the past decade, you have shown me the courage it requires to be remiss. Carlye.
I love you for bringing me into your family. I have inherited a mother and a father, and finally become a love sibling, and become on to two brilliant, kind children.
Alan, I love the way you loved our Lacey, like the precious gift she was to us, remembered through a grief worth its efforts.
Alan, I love you for naively still believing I might make it to Monterey someday.
Carlye, I love your sense of style. Our life is draped, designed, and detailed in your vision. Carlye, I love your artistry. The medium may change, but your commitment to creation remains ever present.
Carlye, I love your boundless optimism. Even when it means believing you can get ready in 5 minutes or carry all the groceries in a single trip.
Carlye, I love your joy for hosting a labor of love, and we are blessed to receive it.
Alan, I love you for single-handedly redefining my type. That anytime I say, oh, that guy's cute, someone inevitably points out they look an awful lot like you. Thank you, everyone. Carlye and Alan, 10 years ago, you couldn't have known exactly what you were promising. You couldn't have known you'd face a global pandemic, career shifts, relocating across the country, or the loss of a beloved dog. But marriage isn't about knowing the future. It's about choosing each other again and again as life unfolds. Today isn't about making new promises. It's about acknowledging that you've kept the ones you made. So I've always known this to be true, but these last few days have reinforced it for me. Carlye and Alan have helped us all believe in magic. A little more. Not the kind of magic that makes a rabbit jump out of a hat or the kind that an Etsy witch gets to tip the scales, but the kind that asks, why not? Why not meet on another continent to celebrate love? Why not live communally for a couple days? Why not saddle up a couple toddlers and have them lead us up the side of a mountain on a mule? Why not taste and touch and discover and witness all that this brief but beautiful life has to offer us? We've seen just how quickly 10 years goes by. Our lives have changed in so many ways, and while we don't have forever, we do have now. Together, with full hearts and often full bellies, I hope we conjure up enough magic from these Lee encounters to take back to our respective places in the world and make it a part of how we live. Because Lord knows the world needs it. I wish we could tell those kids we were 10 years ago in Lisbon that it was more than just a good time. It was an invitation to be part of something special. And I hope that what we've shared in Marrakech carries us through and sustains us to Tokyo 2036. Because Carlye and Alan, we love you, and thank you for loving us. On that theme, Carlye and Alan have asked Alan's father, Scott, to share a reading from Rainer Maria Rilke's Letters to a Young Poet. Mr. Lee, please step forward.
It is good to love because love is difficult. For one human being to love another, that is perhaps the most difficult task that has been entrusted to us. The ultimate task, the final test and proof. The work for which all other work is merely preparation. Loving does not mean merging, surrendering, and uniting another person. Instead, it is a high inducement for the individual to ripen, become something, become a world in themselves for the sake of another person. It is a great demanding claim, something that calls them to cross vast distances. If we treat this as an apprenticeship, instead of losing ourselves in the frivolous and easy behind which we often hide, from the solemnness of being, this growth will transform the experience of love. We'll change it from the ground up and reshape it into a relationship between one human being and another. It is more human love that will fill itself with infinite consideration and gentleness, with kindness and clarity. This is what love means. To teach solitudes meet, protect one another, and greet each other with reverence. Love is not to merge, but to stand beside another life and say, I will walk with you.
Thank you. Next, Carlye and Alan have asked their close friend, Marisol, to share a second reading, Chaos Theory, by American poet Clint Smith.
Chaos Theory by Clint Smith. In 2011, 12 years ago, the butterfly flew in a different direction than you maybe would have met. Maybe we wouldn't have even been people. Maybe we wouldn't have even been us. You know, maybe you would have been a tortoise, and I would be a raspberry. Maybe we would both be plants on opposite sides of the same coral reef, so that we could have been connected without ever having met. Maybe I would be a book cut down to be a home with all of you. Maybe I would have never been. Maybe the butterfly's wings would have flown the sea into the river and awakened the soil, which otherwise would have become a bush of blueberries, which otherwise would have been eaten by a squirrel or some other prehistoric rodent, which otherwise would have died in a field of millweeds, which otherwise would have been carried by the wind to another place, which otherwise might have gotten caught in the feathers of the bird, which otherwise might have flown to the other side of the sea. I could go on, but what I mean to say is that it would have been such a tragedy if something happened that would have prevented me from meeting you like butterfly. You didn't realize it was flying in the wrong direction.
Okay. Carlye and Alan, you can speak your vows to each other now. Just to each other in whatever words feel right.
You know, as the person who drafted the ceremony, I probably should have made him go after the readings that made us both cry, but I didn't, so. "10 years ago, when we were planning our wedding in Lisbon, I was painfully aware of how hard it would be for me to read you the vows. I'll get it out. to read you the vows that you deserve to hear. So instead I wrote. We designed a ceremony that allowed us to say the heartfelt things we wanted to say through others. And I kept my vows short and silly with laugh breaks to give me a breath. My hope is that today, after a decade of becoming both stronger and softer with you, I can do the honor of sincerity. Because Alan Lee, loving you is the honor of my lifetime. I think we all sometimes privately wonder if we're the kind of person to whom the great things happen. When I think about my quiet dreams to be a writer, to reach a certain level in my career, I can be skeptical, but finding you feels like proof that my life contains lightning strikes. We fell in love in a dorm room when you were 19. Something deep inside of us, and maybe every one of our friends, knew it before we did. Within a week, I was trying to talk myself out of visiting you every day, so you wouldn't think I was weird. But it's 17 years later, and I still feel that powerful draw. I want to spend every day with you. I want to see every place with you. I want to be the one you tell when something inspires you, or tickles you, or makes you curious. I want to watch you love, dote on, and worry over our dumb old dog. I want to argue and soothe and come back together with a new understanding of each other. I want to reach for you in joy and passion and in grief. I want to help you see yourself through my eyes, with wonder, with reverence, with the kind of fondness that feels so big in my chest. Sometimes I think I will burst. And instead I just cry in the middle of the night for no reason, because I thought about it. But most of all, I want to grow with you. I want to be made better as a friend, as a daughter, and as a wife, because of the love that we practice together. We built our marriage on this belief that loving is both action and choice. And so, though today carries a special weight as we stand here in front of this community that we've created, in many ways today is just another day, like everyone that has preceded it, because today I choose you. I pledge to cherish you, to care for you, to be your partner in all things big and hard and scary like this. I choose to be your wife for as long as you'll have me.
I should go first. You want to after? I don't know if you know, these are the same books that we read out of 10 years ago. And so we just skipped to the next page and carried on. Carlye. We wrote our first vows 10 years ago, side by side on the flight to Lisbon, a few days before we got there. They felt effortless, if a little casual, and they recognized that we didn't know what lay ahead, but we were committed to moving forward into the unknown, side by side with love. 10 years later, it feels a lot harder to write.
I had it covered.
You got that live stream?
Pedro wasn't going to get it, I promise.
10 years later, it feels harder to write because I have too much to say. We've lived so much, we've grown, we've moved, we've reinvented, we've experienced love and joy and pain and challenges in ways that we never imagined. We've become new people again and again and again. And through it all, we've had each other as loving witness to see the changes and the continuity beneath it. We both know how special it is to be able to share our lives with each other and to have the opportunity every day to keep learning what that means. And so I recognize that this is a celebration, but it is not a victory lap. We have many chapters ahead filled with whatever highs and lows life has in store for us. And I trust that our happiest and hardest days are still to come. So today I make these vows to you. I say them out loud, even though they feel easier than breathing. I will be here every day to share in this life and to witness this life with you.
We're already married.
Thank you, Boo. In Moroccan tradition, couples share dates and milk in one of their first acts as husband and wife. The date, sweet and golden, speaks to the richness and warmth of a marriage can hold. Milk represents nourishment, the way we sustain and care for one another through all seasons. Carlye and Alan, after 10 years of marriage, this isn't your first act of care, but a continuation of how you've nourished each other and your marriage. Now each of you also has a date. As Carlye and Alan have shared in this sweetness, we invite you to grab yours now. They'll eat theirs first, and then you can enjoy yours. As a reminder that the joy of their marriage is something that we all share in. So Carlye and Alan, you can go ahead and enjoy your date. Just one little bite.
I didn't know there were things.
I deep-fitted them.
And your milk.
We'll take our own.
That's fine. Thank you. Okay, if you haven't already, please enjoy yours. I just know how to say welcome everyone, but thank you for helping. It took me all day to learn how to say, I'm not going to try again. celebrate here with you because friendship has always been at the heart of their marriage. So I want to ask all of you, do you continue to support, encourage, and celebrate this marriage in the years ahead?
We do. Yes.
10 years ago, you became married. Today, you still are, by choice, by love, by the life you've built together. Make us the husband and the wife. Okay, that's it. Now it's time to party.
Keep proud.
It's the shot. Where you at?